Trading Time Prime Time. Please tell your friends and neighbors and join us back here next time for Trading Time on WYSH. And thanks for listening.
Let's go fishing. You know it's really great. Let's go fishing. In the rivers and on the lakes. Let's go fishing. It's easy when you try. Floating on the water with good old Steve in mind. Floating on the water with good old Steve in mind.
Hello, folks. Welcome to the Let's Go Fishing Show. Got my brother Mike here with me, and we're just getting started, getting set up here. Chandler's got us online, and we're doing good. What do you think, Mike?
I'm glad to be here. Glad to be here. Buddy.
Glad to be here. We really are that part of it for sure. We've got Jeff Parrott's got us a little bit of film sometime here through the night. We'll get it. And want to remember all of our IOU operators, and we can't thank them enough for sponsoring the show.
Sure can't.
Just a great bunch of guys over there, and Mike's worked with them. I've worked with them. And we're just tickled to death to have them to be associated with the labor force there at the IOUE. All righty. Mike and I kind of been experimenting a little bit with some things. I got another camera. Don't know if it's going to work. Chandler's looking it over, and if it doesn't work, it just doesn't work. We'll get back to something else. But when I got that camera and started playing with it, and had my daughter Stephanie to help me with it a little bit, and we've caught a lot of fish. And having that camera was a big help. It's kind of I got a tripod, and we got to setting that thing up and seeing what all we could do with it. And it's got a remote on it that you can be on the front of the boat, and if it's in the back of the boat looking at you, while you can hit the button and it'll turn itself right on.
That's right.
You know. So it's a pretty good little deal. It just takes me learning how to use the thing and carrying on like that. And Mike and I took off to the lake. I don't know. Let's see. I had to go get my wife's car, her tires realigned, and I got back home and I called Mike and said, "Get your stuff and come on. Let's go down here and fish a few hours." And we did, and we've done pretty dang good. We caught 2 or 3, 4 good sized bass, and then we had them pounding the heifers there. That we had several of those. That paid off really good for us, and just going to continue on and doing what we can for the show and for our some sponsors over there, and we're just going to keep working at it, and hopefully we'll get this camera situation taken care of, and then we can go from there, Mike.
I hear you can go from there.
today we had throwing some crankbaits, and that's about what we call overfishing.
Never got a bite on anything else.
Never got a bite
Well,
on
you
nothing.
caught one on that spinnerbait to start with.
I did. That's exactly
Little
right.
bitty.
Yeah, a small fish on the spinnerbait, and it just we were on watch bar there in the Emery section, and it was just good. I mean, we about everywhere we stopped, we caught fish, and it turned out really well. And I hope we can, get the camera working to where we can watch it and play it back and all this kind of stuff. But before we do that, we're going to take and let Chandler. I got with Jeff Parrott last week when we had the. Well, you could call it a tornado as far as I was concerned. I had a foot of water in my boat. I know that, trying to get home. And I dropped Jeff off there at the Hardee's at the interstate, and he jumped and got his stuff and took off, and I took off. But that was something else. But we made it through it. Everything was fine. So we're glad to have that footage that Jeff's got, and he and I are going to get together and make another trip because we weren't satisfied with the one that we made last week, and so we're just waiting on the right day so we can go back.
Yeah, it's good. That's good.
And
That's up north.
yeah, we were on Norse, and we knew they'd already been telling us about the bad weather coming in, and sure enough, we were on the road down to the interstate, and just as it started sprinkling, I mean, and the further I went, the worse it got.
Oh, yeah. Yes,
So
sir.
that was a bad deal for sure. But from there, where you turn up 61, just barely a little drizzle, and the time I got to the top of the hill, it quit.
Mm-hmm.
And this weather has been something so far this year. We hope it gets better instead of worse, Mike, for sure. Mike, give us a little lowdown on your side of the scales there.
Well, the weather has been the biggest thing with the rain and everything, because every time it quit raining, I had grass to mow. Trying to take care of 3 places like that, I was pretty busy on trying to keep the grass mowed, and didn't get to go all that many trips. Had some good trip down on the Emery there, and I got 9 good crappie. That first trip that I got to go with Gary, and hadn't got to go back down middle of the lake or the lower end till Saturday, and wished I'd have just stayed up there on the upper end. The boats was running, I mean, tell you, unbelievable, in Blue Springs there, and we got out there on the channel trying to fish deeper, and got swamped I don't know how many times. They'd look up and there'd be 10 coming down, 10 going up, and 10 running around in circles out there, and you're just bouncing up and down, and water coming over the sides of the boat and about to throw you out of the boat and everything else out there. And I think we caught 4 catfish, 2 stripe, and a bluegill. And finally, I give up on it and told Gary, I said, let's go to the house. It just getting too bad out there for everything. And, they had the big boats out there running, too, and the wake boats and everything else. It was unbelievable. And anyway, we fooled around and got to go back down to Emory and for a little while there, and didn't get down there to 12 o'clock or so, and went back over in that one little old pocket there, and man, I tell you what, it was unbelievable. I bet you I caught 30 or more out of there, and that was just in the crappie, and they was anywhere from, and I'm telling you, it was just all around the boat. I could just drop my bait out there like I was flipping or something and just toss it out a few feet off the boat, and before the dang bait would sink down and tighten the line up, it done jerked the floater and under and nothing to be on it. But they was anywhere from 6 inches to just right under 10 inches, and we had a ball as far as the number of fish we caught right there, and got a lot of little bass too. I don't know how many of them we caught, but there was a bunch of them, and but we didn't have but 5 keepers and stuff there. But man, I tell you what, that place is polluted with the little crappie, and next year ought to be even better. Don't know about the spawning on bass. Just like today, all the bass we caught, none of them had a bloody tail or nothing. And the water temperature 68, 69 degrees. But yeah, we had a real good day up there today, and throwing the crankbaits. But we was throwing them grubs. Gary, I don't know, between him, he must have swapped 10 or 12 times on grubs to try to catch them crappie, and I finally got on a chartreuse looking grub. It wasn't transparent looking, it was just solid lime green looking, and that's what they was really a-hitting. We had such a good time out of that, and stuff there, man. I tell you, I had kind of like today on them plugs, and when I got on that old light or whatever they call that, it had a chartreuse looking plug with a light brown looking back on it and stuff. And done real good on it. And I noticed when you swapped over and put one on, it had the chartreuse look like that. You done awful good on it too.
Yeah.
Water had just a shade of color to it up there.
Well, I'd call it a little more in the shade, but go ahead.
Yeah. No, it wasn't muddy, but
it sure looked muddy.
But you could see down maybe a foot or so before the plug had disappeared. But it wasn't plumb muddy. And but anyway, it's been pretty good up here on the upper end. But man, I tell you what, I'd like to get down there on the lower end and try some more down there. But I ain't gonna go down there with all that crowd down there. Mm-hmm. That's rough fishing down there when you have to sit in the seat to keep them getting towed in the lake.
Well, that's possibly true too, Mike. And but you were setting out kind of out in deep water, 30 footer.
Oh yeah, we went out, come out of Blue Springs there and got out there on the main channel and trying to fish and stuff. And like I say, it's terrible out there. So maybe they got all their running done and things will settle back down a little bit.
Yeah, speaking of that, I think I know in the Emory section, Big Emory, Little Emory, even down towards the launch ramp at there at Chuck's. Ladd's Landing, yeah. In that area, back up towards the Emory section and stuff's been pretty dang good this year.
Mm-hmm. Well, that water temperature down the river there Saturday was 78 degrees.
Yeah.
So it's a whole lot warmer down the river than what it is up in the Emory. We was getting them cool nights and them rains and stuff coming in there.
Yeah.
Kept it pretty cool. I think that's the reason them fish ain't been on the bed or ain't tried to go on the bed. At least they hadn't that I know of. They may have been a month ago on the bed or something, but no signs of it on them fish we caught today.
Yeah. And I'm like you. I don't think we had, we had probably 20 or better fish. By the time you count them all up that we caught down there today, and that was a half a day.
Mm-hmm.
And, but I never saw the first tail wore off of a fish.
No, and
I haven't seen the first one. And
the crappie I cleaned, there was a few of them that had eggs in them, but Lord, they was a long way from being ready to
spawn,
and lose them eggs, and stuff. So, I don't know. That river up here was a lot colder. I ain't don't know about the clinks, but I assume it's about the same way up through there, as far as temperature wise.
Right. That's, and I haven't been up past Little Emery so far this year, as far as getting up towards Harriman and in that section. There's some good fishing up in that area. I just hadn't been there yet.
Yeah,
and been in other places, and but we've done pretty good, and so far, this year we fishing down there back when the weather was a little cooler. 2 months ago, 2 months ago, I caught a lot of little fish and caught some good fish. And so, just in that neck of the woods there in Little Emery and Big Emery and so on and so forth. But so, and I haven't seen, like, coming right back to it, haven't seen the first bloody tail yet.
No, sure ain't.
I mean, I don't know what the deal is. Wished I did. Now, 2 of those fish that we caught today, like they had a belly on them. But their tails was just as clean as a whistle.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And so I've, looking at those 2 fish right there, I just didn't think that I hadn't seen anything that would cause me to think that they were fanning the nest.
No, sure ain't.
And so it's been that kind of thing. Listen, any of you all that's listening in, if you want to call us, just don't hesitate. Give us a call. We'll be right here. And you've got the numbers right there with it. So give us a buzz, and we'll be glad to fill you in on anything else that we might have come across, for sure, without a doubt. And let's see, Mike. I that trip I took to Norris with Jeff Parrott, hopefully before the week's out, I can get back up there and see what's going on, because we didn't find out a whole lot last week, he and I together, and we're just waiting on the opportunity to get to go back and see what's going on.
Yeah.
So can't wait. Chandler, do you want to run that film now? Okay. We'll do that.
Yeah, these lake levels is.
Hello, folks. I'm Jeff Parrott, and welcome to another episode of Let's Go Fishing with Steve Cox. I'm a guest of Steve's today, and it's May the 20th, 2025. And look at this beautiful sunrise coming up over Norris Lake. Hope you enjoy the video. Let's go fishing. Folks, what we got right here is a bunch of shad minnows trying to climb into this boat. I mean, I don't know if you can see them on the video, but they are doing their best to try to climb up on the back of Steve's motor and get in the boat with us. So that's a good sign. There's plenty of bait food for them to eat. We pick up a little largemouth right here, I believe, on a wacky worm. So let's see what happens. I got one.
Got one?
Yeah.
Good.
Stay on there, big boy. Stay down in there.
Oh, yeah. Good man. We're doing good.
Coming around to you. Here he comes.
Yeah.
All right.
Boy.
That's what we're looking for, wasn't it?
What we're looking for right there.
Good fish. There you go.
All right.
That's a nice fish. Look, he's fat, isn't he?
Yeah.
Fat fish.
Struck that thing just right. Too.
Yeah, man. He's laying right over under that cypress tree.
Yeah.
That's what we're looking for.
You got the camera?
I got it. We're rolling.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's the catch and everything. Catch and the dip and all. We're good. I got you. All right, big boy, we're going to let you go here. Get back in there. Get you another day. Let's get another one. They'll hit it now. They like that bubble gum. That's a good size, too, that finesse one.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't know, he might be little. I don't know what it is. It's some little something. That's okay. I knew there's a little one in there. Yeah, he kept poking at it there. I knew. Little smallmouth. Get on in there. All right. All right, I think Steve is fishing with a white swim bait here, and he's getting ready to catch one. He had a couple bites there, so let's see what happens here in the next little bit. Oh! Good. Oh, yeah. Keep it coming. You gotta stay down, big boy. You got him hooked pretty good, don't you?
Yeah.
Good.
Same hook.
All right, Steve has a giant smallmouth on here. I mean, it's a good one. It'd go at least 4 pounds. We both have missed some fish, but let's just watch this fish jump and say goodbye. But we'll get him the next time. All right, folks, I'm tying on a green pumpkin worm with some red flakes and tied to a shaky head. I got a feeling there's a smallmouth on this point. Here we go. Yeah, he's little, I think. I'll keep him on there. I don't know if I got him hooked good or not. He's fighting pretty good. He's coming up. All right, here comes my leader. He's coming up. Coming up to you. Center of the boat. Here he comes. Oh. Got it. We wanted a smallmouth, didn't we? Amen. All righty. Yep. He deserved that, Hut. Woo. He liked that shaky head.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Steve.
All right, Jeff. I'm glad you got to come with. The only bad thing about it is we have had a couple of fish at the boat and 4 or 5 more jump off. Jeff, you know, you've been in the boat with me today, so you know all about that. But we're not going to give up on it. We're going to get back up here in a few days, and hopefully we can get something going, because I know there's plenty of fish in this lake, and we're going to figure out how to catch them. And usually it's right at dusk dark and up to 12, 1 o'clock. But anyway, I am looking for the moon to come break through and start on its upward swing and get brighter and brighter, and the fish get better and better.
Thank you, Steve, for having me out today as your co-angler. I appreciate it. We've had a good time. A little bit windy right now. There's a storm rolling in. We'll definitely do it again. Thank you, Steve.
All right, thank you, Jeff. All right. Yeah, that was Jeff, and he and I got together, and we're going to go back here in a few days for sure, and see if things have changed much. But there again, the 4 or 5 fish that we caught that day didn't have bloody tails on them either, Mike. So it's you know, and that one good smallmouth that I had a hold of there, it was a dandy, and the sum gun hit. I don't know, the water may have been 8 to 10 feet where I threw. We were setting out in 22, 24 feet, and but I didn't pick the low swim bait up but once, and he nailed it, and before I got him in, he done jumped and throwed the bait.
What was your water temperature up there?
70, 71.
71.
Yeah.
I know it. The water's up high everywhere.
Right.
And stuff there. I had a buddy of mine telling me that his friend had a campsite reserved down there at Watch Bar for 3 months for this weekend. And they called him up and told him that he couldn't have that campsite. And he said, "What do you mean?" He said, "I've had it reserved for 3 months." He said, "Yeah, but," said, "you can't get to it. It's underwater." So, you know, they finally, I think, found him a campsite there that he could use.
Gee whiz, Mike. Dang.
So, you know,
Shucks.
that was down on Watch Bar, down there on the lower end. So, you know,
Yeah.
this water's going up and down. You could see that today when we got down there. It was right at full. And the time we left, it was down about a foot. And then it just changes so dang fast up there in the Emory anyway. But
Right.
all this rain, man, I tell you what, we get another 2 or 3 inches. I don't know where they're going to put it all.
Well, that comes right back to this dingy, muddy-looking water and the clear water.
Mm-hmm.
And what's been coming out of the mountains there and off the mountain there above in the neighborhood of Little Emory, that muddy water just boiling in, you know, when it comes a hard rain, and supposed to get one tonight.
Yeah.
It muddies up pretty dang quick.
It sure does.
And so that's, you know, I don't know what you'd throw unless it's be something solid orange.
Yeah. Well,
You know, spinner bait, jig, crankbait, whatever you was fishing with, and just because that water's going downstream a little bit. And if you notice there, the buoys there, when we left out of there, going down to Big Emery, the current was rolling.
The rolling too.
Yeah. Well, when we come back in 2.5 hours later, 3 hours, why, the buoys was dead still.
Dead still, yeah. They're backing it back up again.
Backing it back up again. Exactly right. And so, we did, we just got around some fish there in Big Emery this afternoon, but that water was a little better looking.
Yeah, it was.
Than what was up at the boat ramp there at Little Emery.
Yeah.
The water headed down towards the launch ramp there in the cove there at Kingston. We were headed in that direction, and it was clearing up.
Clearing up too.
So that's the whole key to it, I think, Mike, is the water clarity, and you get, we done pretty well today, and for only 4 or 5 hours of fishing, I think we done pretty good. Maybe 5 hours, maybe 6, but the muddy water was the difference.
Oh yeah.
And it reminds you more of stained water than it does muddy water. I mean, so I don't know about that. We'll just have to stay at it and see what we can come up with. For sure, I don't know. Jeff, if you're listening, and I hope you are, you ought to just give us a ring over here, and we'll kind of fill you in on what we ran into today, and that kind of thing. And we just have to keep trying, but with that clear water lets the heat, or the dirty water holds the heat back, I think. And whenever you get in that water temperatures in the mid-70s, then that we may see some spawning fish, but we haven't seen any as of yet.
Well, was he able to get any film off either one of the cameras?
I don't think so. Have we got any film on cameras, Chandler? Have we? Okay. Good deal. That's absolutely wonderful. I'm going to...
Jeff Parrott now.
Yeah. You tell me when to push the button. Okay. Go right ahead. Yellow.
Hello, you've reached the Channel 12.
My fault. Wrong button.
Good.
Did I get it then? Dang it. Jeff, can you hear me? Which one does I need to push?
Line one, top one.
Okay. All right. We got you. We'll let him think about that and call us back. What do you think?
Line two.
Yeah, we're on. That way we'll be on line 2. Yeah. All right. Maybe he'll call back. How'll that work?
Yeah. Pretty good.
Jeff, you there? Okay. We're moving right along. There he is. Okay. Hello, Jeff.
Hey, Steve.
Yeah.
We got it now.
Yeah, I was pushing the wrong button. Chandler was pulling out his hair.
That's all right. Paul and I are sitting here watching you guys. Hello, Mike. How you doing, brother?
Doing all right, bud.
Good. It's good. You guys looking good tonight. Y'all got some good information going on your program. And yes, Steve, I don't know. I think maybe that storm we had up there on Norris
It just kind of scattered them out or something. We should have caught a few more fish, but that's okay. We'll jump back in there. And Paul and I are sitting here thinking that maybe all the fish have not spawned out at the same time on North Lake. What do you guys think?
I think that's true, and the reason being is because of the temperature change of the water and the depth that the guys were fishing back 2 months ago, and even 3 months ago. You know, in end of January, end of February, they were catching a lot of fish in that 30-foot range.
Yeah, I think, also that first largemouth we got there, its stomach was full. I don't know if it was just feeding up on shad or what, but we never seen any blood on its tail, and then the smallmouth we picked up there, we didn't think that it was spawned out yet. But and I'll tell you what, Steve, you had a 4-pounder on there. If it would go an ounce, it was 4 pound. That smallmouth was good fish.
Yeah, it was, Jeff. It really was. I hated to lose that son of a gun. It just gives you momentum, you know that. And I threw that little old swim bait out there and let it hit the bottom and picked it up, and it like a freight train. And I told you then, I said, man, I got a dandy on this time. And the son of a gun got it out there about halfway to the boat and jumped and threw the hook.
All right. Well, I'm going to let Paul say a few words here. He wants to speak to you guys.
Go right ahead.
How you guys doing?
Hey, Paul, we're doing okay. How about you?
Well, doing good. Hey, I'll give you a little post-walleye report. I went that last full moon, and I put in out there at the park, and I fished pretty close to the park, and I throw that deep down husky jerk, and I caught all smallmouth, Steve, and I suspect the smallmouth that I caught, and they were good ones. They were probably 14, 15, 16 inches. And they looked like, they had spawned out, but there was no shad, breaking around the bank. The water temperature was out. I like the temperature to be, when I crank about 71, 72, it never did get above 67 that last full moon, and I don't know. I don't believe I even got a walleye bite. Like I said, I caught probably 5 or 6 smallmouth, and I caught them real close, to the park. But
right,
I put in probably about 8 o'clock, and I fished till about midnight, and I just hung it up at midnight. It just about wore me out. I could have possibly caught a few, maybe later on in the night or way up early in the morning, but it was no dice on that trip. But I think it was the water temperature, and I have heard some stories here just lately. They're catching them under the lights, snagging shad and stuff. But of course, that's, like I said, it was that way. That's been 2 or 3 weeks ago when I went on that full moon. But we're gearing up and we're getting ready to go crank it again. So. We'll give you a report for sure. It's time for them to start biting good.
Well, hey, that sounds good, and well, I'm going to ask you just right at it. Are you guys using a jerk bait at night whenever you're fishing for those walleye?
Yeah, Steve. That deep down husky jerk in the clown color, and then in the silverback blue or silver side blueback deep down husky jerk, and we just we throw it close to the bank and reel it slow, and don't really do anything special with it, but it's that one, and we'll switch from it to to a shad wrap or. Chartreuse shad wrap, a 7, 8, or a 9. Most of the time it's an 8, but that husky jerk is the one that we that's our go-to, and that clown color always produces.
Yeah, well, that's proven by you guys over the years. So, in other words, don't try to change me now.
That's right. Hey, Steve, this is Jeff. I'm back at you. And I wanted to make a quick little comment. I agree. 100% on what Mike was talking about earlier in the video. We've got the same issue on North Lake there. I know all of us, the fishermen and the skiers and all of us, we all got to enjoy that thing together, and we all got to work together to make it safe for everybody. I know that, you've had some, we read about some accidents down there on some of the other lakes, on some of the BASS stuff in the MLF. But, those wakeboard boats, they fill them up with water in those bellows, and they create a wave, and I'm sure it's fun. If I was 24 instead of 64, I'd probably enjoy that. But, there's also some rules that some of these folks have not followed and not looked into. They cannot jeopardize somebody else's life with another boat like that and end up one of those fishermen falling over in the lake and drowning. They would be liable for that. So these viewers out there, I don't want to get into an argument with them, but they need to take heed to those rules, because they are some rules out there, and we all know that as fishermen, don't we?
Yeah, that's true, Jeff. You're exactly right.
People like me, I mean, that I kayak fish a whole lot, and of course I've got a power boat too. I've got a walleye and crappie boat that I get out in, but you can imagine what it would be like on North Lake or any lake around here, whether it's Norse, Melton Hill, Watts Bar, when them guys are running 10 boats coming to you and 10 boats coming back the other way, you sometimes kind of taking a big chance out there. They, like I say, we've all got to cooperate and try to figure out how safe that all of us can be. And a lot of times there, you just kind of watch all that stuff.
That's very true, Jeff. Very true. We don't want to see anyone hurt or injured or whatever, especially on a drowning or whatever might happen, or a boat accident. We want people to be safe and watch out for each other. That's
right. That's right. And anyway, I just thought I would follow up there, because I agree 100% with Mike. He's on it. We've run into this problem I know that it generates money, and tourists come to our areas and they spend their money, and we want them down here. We want them to have a good time, but at the same time, we all want to be safe. But anyway, I ain't going to harp on that much anymore. Let me get back to the program here. You guys got about 15 minutes or so, and Steve, I had a great time with you. We'll get it again. Just give me a holler. I hated that you had to drive back in that storm. I know you were talking to your wife on the way back home, and she didn't have any electricity there, and I was thinking, well, you got such a nice boat. You've got to manually open up that garage door and get that boat inside, and you dropped me off at Hardy's, and I was at home in 5 minutes there from Hardy's. So I was thinking about you guys, and I'm glad you all made it through the storm. But Paul and I will hang up, and we'll listen to you guys' final comment. Maybe you might get another caller or something in there, Steve. But thanks again. Very much enjoyed your company, and always enjoy both you and Mike on your show. And take care, and we'll send it back to you, Steve.
All right, Jeff. We appreciate that, man. We really do. And I can't, shucks, I can't wait to get back up there. Just to tell you the truth about it. I mean, I'm so aggravated that we didn't do any better than we did, but it comes right back to that. How deep are they? And we knew back the last 2 or 3 months, that there's several good catches of smallmouth caught there in that 30, 35 foot of water. So, we're just going to continue on. I know, and Mike knows, and your brother knows that, when we're ready and when the fish are ready, we're ready. So
that sounds good, Steve. We'll go get them again. That's why they call it fishing, Steve. As we go out there, sometimes we'll knock the ball out of the park, and then sometimes we strike out, and sometimes we'll get rained out. But that's all part of it, and that's what makes it fun. We enjoy doing it. But we're gonna get on those walleye too. We're gonna jump back on them on Norse. But I am looking forward to getting out there and dragging those smallmouth baits on that bottom with you guys, and just let me know ahead of time, and we'll sure make a trip of it.
Buddy, that sounds good, Jeff. Shucks, the four of us will make a good trip, so be prepared for that, too, here in the next few weeks.
That sounds good. We'll take 2 or 3 boats if we have to. That'd be great, Steve. You and Mike have a good rest of the show, and Paul and I will listen in. Good night.
All right. Thank you, guys. We appreciate you. You don't know how much. It's an enjoyment to, be able to talk to you and get your side of the story or whatever that you're talking about. And because, hey, you guys been on that lake a long time, too. And I know, so we're with you. We're in there with you. Guarantee it.
Sounds good. You guys have a good night. Thank you.
All right, buddy. See you. Okay, Mike.
On that film?
Huh?
On that film?
Yeah. Have we got some film, Chandler? All right. Please play it, sir.
Okay, folks. I think I got this camera working. I got a small one here. 12, 13 incher, I guess. Had 2 to get away that on that brush hog, and been trying everything else, and went back to that brush hog, flipping it. So this one here, so stay with it for a while. See if I can find some more of them. Trying to film a few that I had the other day, but the camera wasn't working. I had to change cards out in it. So stick with us, and we'll get back in here on some of this structure and see what we can find. Water temperature 73 degrees in here, so them fish ought to be bedding somewhere. There's a little crappie. We're down here in the inlet floating around and trying to stay out of the wind, and finally found a little crappie down there. Got 2 foot deep. We'll put him back in the water. See if we can find a few more. All right, Gary, he finally got us a keeper there. Well, that's a pretty one, too, I'm telling you what.
It is. Look at the color
all over. Yeah. Pretty fish, pretty fish. All right, folks. Gary, you got a real nice black crappie there. Real pretty crappie. Go straight to your leg out there, boy. All right, that's better now. Put him in the box. Maybe we can find some more of them dudes. Jonah hadn't got 9 crappie there. But you done real good. We're going to get on to the house and put the knife to them. We might even eat some for supper tonight. Anyway, remember the sponsor? Yeah, let's go fishing. All right. We got one there. Fishing for crappie, catch bass. Fishing for bass, catch crappie. Anyway, I'm going to get him off here. He's a good little largemouth. He's 14 inches or better. So anyway, I get him off here and get him back in the water. See if we can get the crappie that we're after. Camera. All right, I got an injured bass here that jumped on my bait. Good little bass. He got a little bit of red on his tail a little bit, and then Gary caught that big crappie right there. Boy, that's a good eater there now. Okay. Yeah, that'll make a good eater there. Get him in the box and you put some more of them. All right, Gary, you got another nice crappie there. Got back in here out of that wind where we could fish a little bit. But, yeah, it's supposed to be light and bearable. It's light, but they don't know about the variable part. Yeah, that's a good crappie, good crappie. Get a dozen more to go with him.
All right, thank you, Chandler. Mike, fill us in there right quick on that crappie fishing there?
Well, like I say, that first trip we had down there a couple of weeks ago, we got to fish there about 11 o'clock to 4 o'clock or something like that. But we had them 9, and we caught several small fish, but not like we did the other day when I had them 5. And I never seen like a dang fish right there in that one little old pocket. I mean, it was unbelievable. It didn't matter where you throwed, sitting there that spot lock on. You could throw this side, that side, out the front, out the back, or whatever. And just fan casting everywhere. But there one time I just, like I say, just drop almost right beside the boat and just catch another one, but he wasn't keeping. But and we caught a lot of little largemouth in there too. But man, they was in there thick. And, we'd ventured around several little spots there, made some circles and stuff, and checking things out. But you could see that milfoil in there, that 4 foot or so, before you started picking up some of that milfoil. Small stuff down there next to the bottom and stuff. But if you got back past the milfoil, we didn't seem to get any hits. The week before when we was down there and had the 9, he was throwing back there in 2 foot of water, catching bass and crappie both. And he had one bass there that I know go over 4 pounds on that little old grub. And but it seemed like you had to stay right there on the edge of that 4 foot or 5 foot, and was catching them crappie. And was they in there too?
Well, I know there's been a lot of pressure on Little Emery, Big Emery, with the crappie fishing in the last in the last month. You know,
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, they've been a lot of fishermen in there, fishing for them.
Yeah,
and,
you couldn't even find a place to park down there. Most of the time, it's crowded there at Little Emery. Many boats to put in there.
Yeah. Understandable. It's they have their season. It's whenever, it seems like them crappie will kind of get started a little earlier than the bass do.
Yeah.
The bass may be out there 30 foot deep, and them guys catching them crappie on 6 to 8 foot. But it's good, and it's no doubt about it. Well, I caught a dang dandy crappie there in Brown's Cove there, on one of them crankbaits. And I was throwing that crankbait in there to catch a bass on, and son of a gun, and it was a dandy. I just got him in there and got him off and flipped him back in the water.
Yeah.
But he's a dandy. But anyway, that's the whole deal about this temperature, water temperatures and stuff, and is an important thing for what we're trying to do. You need to keep up with that temperature gauge, and because you may be sitting in, I don't know, 5-6 foot of water, and it'd be 35 degrees.
That's right.
That's right. Out in the lake, that you just kind of look at it every now and then, and we've had a whole lot of instruments over the years and now we've got the stuff that we're using. What are we calling it?
Active target.
Live scope, active target. Yeah, it's just about everybody's hooking up with it or already got it.
Yeah.
And when you're sitting there watching those guys like out there at Dale Holler here a couple of months ago, just blew them away. You know, I mean, there was a lot of fish caught there in that tournament, and you and I, we've had a few trips to Dale Holler with Bill and Paul Harrison, and then we got Rick and George out there, and so yeah, we've been on the lake a little bit out there, and catch some fish. I mean, you know, there's plenty of fish there without a doubt, and then we've even fished out there in the night. You know, and catch fish. So it's something else. But the innovation of the live target and all that stuff, man, it just pinpoints them things. You know, it's hard to escape them.
Especially if you know how to use it. I don't know how to use it yet.
I don't know either. 5 minutes. All right. Thank you, Chandler. And so, you know, you're learning, I'm learning. But there's a lot invested there.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot invested.
Chandler, can you take us to a commercial break there with the IOUE bunch? All righty. Let people know what we represent.
That's what we're all about. We do try to do an honest day's work for the people, and we've got operators from all over the DOE sites, TDA sites, the outside contractors. We're just about everywhere you see a heavy piece of equipment, good chance that you'll see an operating engineer on it, rather it be Barnhart. I'd like to mention them, All Crane, and all of them that's signatory to us. We have over 100 contractors that's signatory to us, so I definitely appreciate those guys all the way in Chattanooga, Kingsport, Tullahoma, throughout all the way all the way up to Johnson City. So we do cover a big area, and just let us know if we can be any help to local contractors that come through these areas. We'll definitely send you some people.
All right, David. I appreciate all those good words, and we'll get this on the air, and I want to thank you again.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, guys, while we've got just a couple of minutes here, remind you all about the picnic.
Yeah.
Coming up, Mike.
Yeah, going down to training center.
Going down to training center, exactly right. They're going to have some food and draw for some prizes.
Yeah.
And all that kind of good stuff. We're glad for that, without a doubt, and we'll be looking forward to it.
Got union members and their families that want to come down to it, sir.
Yeah. It's going to be a good thing. So listen, we're going to sign off, try to get some fish caught between now and the end of next month, and be looking forward to it. You all have a safe and wonderful weekend and the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Let's go fishing. You know it's really great. Let's go fishing. In the rivers and on the lakes, let's go fishing. It's easy when you try. Floating on the water with good old Steve in mind. Floating on the water with good old Steve in mind.
No matter what you're up against, we have your back.
We are United Way.
We are neighbors helping neighbors.
In communities around the world, when disaster strikes, we get you back on your feet.
We help children build brighter futures.
We've been here for over 135 years.
But now, our work is more important than ever.
Join us.
Join your neighbors.
Join United Way.
Craving a meal that hits the spot? Come to Phil's Deli in Harriman, where freshness meets flavor, featuring premium boar's head meats in every bite. From breakfast biscuits to loaded lunch favorites, our menu is built to satisfy. Planning an event? Let Phil's Deli cater with fresh, delicious options your guests will love. Phil's Deli, real food, premium quality, and always friendly. 1612 South Roan Street, Harriman. 865-353-7032.
Commercial Metals Company is still a locally operated company that's serving the people of East Tennessee with convenient hours of operation. Commercial Metals buys all types of scrap metal. Nothing is too big or too small. Still have that old clunker sitting around? We've been buying them for years. Commercial Metals are specialists in commercial scrap. We have what it takes to get any size job done. Commercial Metals encourages you to recycle responsibly. Scrap with only licensed dealers. Member of the team.